Welcome back for another episode of Play Action Fantasy Football. We got our wide receiver rankings this week for Week 12. A little different from usual. Usually we do 2 days of rankings, wide receiver, quarterback one day, and we do running back, tight end the next day. Well, we're going to give everything a little bit early here. All rankings are going to come out today, and all start sits are going to come out on Wednesday. They usually come out on Thursday, but because we got Thanksgiving, we have multiple football games starting at 12:30. Might as well give it to you a little bit early. This way we get you all the information you need to win your leagues. And let's go ahead and kick off with our wide receiver rankings here. This is the top 30. We're going to start off number 1, CeeDee Lamb versus the Commanders. Good opportunity for CeeDee Lamb here. Commanders were pretty much embarrassed by the Giants at home against the Giants, nevertheless. And the Cowboys are a different animal at home, so definitely look for CeeDee Lamb there. Number 2, Tyreek Hill at the Jets. Good opportunity to maybe slow down Tyreek Hill, depending on how Sauce Gardner plays, but slowing down Tyreek Hill is still going to get you almost 20 to 30 points. I mean, that's slowing down Tyreek Hill, nevertheless. Number 3, Amon-Ra St. Brown versus the Packers. Good opportunity for him, especially because Keenan Allen and the Chargers just put up a good amount of points. Keenan Allen especially put up a good amount of points, 27, depending on your league, against the Packers. Good opportunity for St. Brown. Number 4, A.J. Brown versus the Bills. Bills' defense is in shambles, so A.J. Brown should have a good opportunity there. Speaking of the man, number 5, Keenan Allen versus the Ravens. They have a little bit of a tougher defense. However, Keenan Allen, being the veteran that he is and being the number 1 target, 16 targets last week from Justin Herbert. Keenan Allen should have a good day at number 5. Stephon Diggs is number 6 for me. I'd like to have him a little bit higher, but he's been very disappointing in the last 2 weeks. Let's see what he's got against the Eagles here, who are bottom of the pack against the wide receiver group. And number 7 is a guy who did not end up playing last week, but should be playing this week, and I don't see why he wouldn't. Is Justin Jefferson versus the Bears. Good opportunity for him on a first game back. Definitely a better matchup for him to score a good amount of points here. Number 8, Brandon Ayuk had another good day. That is Brock Purdy's guy. Deebo Samuel's kind of been faded out a little bit there, and Brandon Ayuk against Seattle. I love the opportunity for him here. 9, Devontae Adams. O'Connell is finally getting the ball to Devontae Adams, something that no other quarterback for the Raiders could do. And he's going up against the Chiefs, and they have some weaknesses at the time. Devontae Adams is definitely one of the better receivers in the league, so he should have no issue against the Chiefs. Number 10, Mike Evans at the Colts. Definitely like the opportunity for Mike Evans here, and he's definitely Baker's guy. Baker always ends up going to Mike Evans, and Mike Evans is very close to already eclipsing 1,000 yards on the season, so Mike Evans at number 10. Number 11, Puka Nacua at the Cardinals. Cooper Kupp is banged up. Not sure if he's going to end up playing. It is a Thursday game for him. He is day-to-day. I have a feeling they're going to sit him out. He tried to come back and really couldn't. So you're going to notice Cooper Kupp is not on this list because I honestly do not think he's going to play this week. Now, if he does, I'm wrong. Nothing I can do about it at that point, but Cooper Kupp more than likely will not play, in my opinion, with that ankle injury, especially with such a short week. So Puka Nacua, number 11, should have a good opportunity against Cardinals. Number 12, we got DK Metcalf versus the 49ers. The 49ers are at the bottom of the pack when it comes to points given up to wide receivers, so DK Metcalf should have a decent game here. And he did pretty well against the Rams, who are near the top when it comes to points given up to wide receivers, or at least middle of the pack for the Rams. So against the 49ers, should have a good opportunity. 13, DJ Moore at the Vikings. Another good matchup, and DJ Moore, like I stated a couple videos ago, I believe was in my start sit. DJ Moore needed Justin Fields to boost that value, and that's exactly what ended up happening. So DJ Moore, number 13. 14 could be a little controversial. I have Jamar Chase versus Steelers here. That's a little tough for me. I would love to put him up higher, but we got to see what Jake Browning has for the Bengals now that Joe Burrow is out, and obviously Jamar Chase was Joe Burrow's favorite target. Number 15, you have Adam Thielen against the Titans. Good bounce back week for Adam Thielen there. For the most part, now he goes up against the Titans, who are definitely near the bottom of the pack as well, just like the 49ers. So Adam Thielen should have a good game again this week. 16 is going to be Chris Olave at the Falcons. Good opportunity here for Chris Olave coming off a bye week, and especially if he does have Derek Carr coming back, which right now he is in concussion protocol, so we'll have to wait and see. But against the Falcons is a good opportunity for Chris Olave. 17, Michael Pittman Jr., again, another guy off a bye week, and he goes up against the Buccaneers, who are dead last when it comes to, or at least 31st, 32nd, when it comes to points given up to wide receivers. So look for Michael Pittman to have a good day. 18, Tank Dell. Tank Dell is officially taken over this receiving room in Houston. That seems to be C.J. Stroud's favorite target, and if it's not Tank Dell, Nico Collins is a close second. But I mean, Noah Brown just kind of came on the scene as well, another guy to look at. But Tank Dell's been the number one guy that's consistently produced. 19, Amari Cooper at the Broncos. Good opportunity for Amari Cooper. The problem is he's going to be a little bit lower on this list because we got to see what DTR has against the Broncos. I mean, he did decent against the Steelers. First week is knowing he was a starter for at least a week, so we'll have to wait and see if he can produce even better numbers and maybe get Amari Cooper more fantasy viable points. 20, Christian Kirk at the Texans. Christian Kirk kind of took a little bit of a step back now that Calvin Ridley kind of exploded last game, but I still expect Christian Kirk to be the number one guy scoring points for them in this offense. 21, Jalen Waddle at the Jets, a guy who I'm going to put a little bit farther down here. Jets are stingy against wide receivers. Obviously, Tyreek Hill's a different breed, but Jalen Waddle could potentially put up some points here against the Jets. I mean, we've just seen it with Khalil Shakir. Just a matter of can Jalen Waddle, with that knee, come back a little bit healthier after that injury in Germany. 22, DeAndre Hopkins versus the Panthers. Home game for DeAndre Hopkins. Panthers can be stingy at times, obviously, as well. But when you look at DeAndre Hopkins, he's definitely going to be the guy getting majority of the targets every single week unless if somebody else steps up. But as of right now, DeAndre Hopkins at 22. Number 23 is going to be Garrett Wilson versus the Dolphins. Dolphins are pretty good at giving up points to wide receivers. And no Zach Wilson now. Now you got another quarterback in there. So Garrett Wilson should have potentially a better opportunity, I believe, with Zach Wilson out to get some points here. Number 24, Nico Collins versus the Jaguars. Like I stated earlier with Tank Dell, it's kind of like a 1A, 1B type thing. Obviously, Tank Dell's been more consistent. Nico Collins has been more of that red zone, kind of get you that first down type of guy. But Nico Collins should have a decent week here against the Jaguars, especially a home game against the Jaguars. 25, Romeo Doubs at the Lions. It seems like Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed are kind of taking over at this point. Christian Watson cannot stay healthy for the most part, and just he's not able to make this connection with Jordan Love, unfortunately, like he had with Rodgers last year before Rodgers got traded to the Jets. So Romeo Doubs at the Lions could be a little bit of a play behind or try to shoot out with them. So Romeo Doubs should have a good opportunity. Number 26, Deebo Samuel at the Seahawks. Deebo's been taking a little bit of a step back after that shoulder injury. This should be a good bounce back game against Seattle, though, for him. So he's number 26, 27. Calvin Ridley's back on this list after that performance and now he goes up against the Texans in Houston. A little bit of a tougher matchup, you could say, but I think that they're finally finding a way to use Calvin Ridley in this offense. Number 28, Devonta Smith versus the Bills. Bills, like I said, are a little banged up here, but Devonta Smith needs to be a little bit more consistent to be higher up on the list. Number 29, Tyler Lockett versus the 49ers. Good opportunity for Tyler Lockett to have another decent game. This time up against a worse-ranked 49ers team. Obviously, though, DK Metcalf has been taking majority of that point share for fantasy viable points. Number 30 is going to be Chris Godwin at the Colts. Chris Godwin is the secondary guy here. Mike Evans is clearly Baker's guy, but a little bit worried about Chris Godwin, obviously. He's going to be number 30 this week against the Colts, but watch out. Trey Palmer's kind of eating into his target share, but we'll talk about that more with the start-sit video coming out tomorrow, so make sure you watch that. But other than that, that's going to do it for our wide receiver rankings for Week 12. Make sure you like, subscribe if you made it all the way through. It definitely goes a long way for us. Helps us out a lot. We're at 60 subscribers. We're trying to get as high as we can by the end of the year. Ideally, if we can get to 100, we greatly appreciate that. But other than that, we'll see where we're at. You guys have a good holiday, and we'll talk to you later.